This video is literally documenting my experience through the skinning process. I'm not a professional tanner. I've read a lot of books, I've seen a lot of videos, and I've read a lot of forum posts on the subject just to familiarize myself and figure out exactly how to do it. And honestly, the best way to do it is just get your hands dirty. It's not super complicated, but a lot of things have changed since the early 1900s and all these different historical books. Because back then, they just tell you to rub a bunch of animal fat on the skin. A lot of people are probably a little averse to that. So I'm going to show you the steps today and how I did it, and I got it up to this point. But if I could have the time, I try to do pretty much everything all at once. Because you don't need to dry it out first, re-wet it, and stretch it out like I did. I didn't have time to prepare it like if I had a day. So I had to dry it out, re-wet it, stretch it out, and then follow the next steps. So that's kind of what you're going to see. And I'd also suggest, if you have the time, to use salt. Salt is all natural, and you can't go wrong with all natural methods. It's time tested. I didn't use salt. I tried to use salt on my deer skin, and it was taking so long to do it that I opted for borax. But if I were to do it again, I would probably do salt if I had the time, and I'd just be patient. Okay, so but this is done for y'all. I hope you enjoy it, and if you are a tanner, then leave some comments on some of your best practices, because there's so many different ways to accomplish the same goal to different degrees of success, right? And I'm pretty sure this is going to turn out fine in the end, but hopefully this helps you. This is Gerald. This is my beaver, and it was named Gerald by one of my students because I showed him a picture of it and she suggested naming it Gerald. So this is Gerald. Now what we're going to do today is we're actually going to flush it. It's taken me a couple days, and it's been really cold here in Ohio, and we're talking about single digits at the night. So when I brought this in, it was stiff as a board. This is not ideal. Ideally, you want to flush this rather quickly. This is going to actually be more difficult at this point. It would have been a lot easier if I had the time to do it right, but this is what we got. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. If nothing else, maybe you'll learn from my mistakes and how I am going to try to correct it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and put it over a log, because I don't have a flushing post. I have a smoothed out log, and I'm going to use a really old antique draw knife. Now there are specialized tools to actually skin and prepare animal hides. Now the benefit of it is now that it's been out in the cold for so long, I'm hoping that it's not so buggy, because when I was actually preparing this animal, there were a lot of fleas and other critters inside the fur. So I'm hoping with the cold and everything, it will kill at least most of them. And we'll get to it. All right. Let me reposition the camera and get some things ready, and I'll show you how we're doing this. All right, my friends, we have our log here. Notice that we're not using the bark. The bark's taken completely off of this side. Now my boy is here to help me hold on to the beaver, because as I pull it, it's naturally going to want to slip on me. So having something or someone on this end to help hold it is going to make the experience a lot easier. Now the draw knife that I'm using is not sharp. It's very dull. It's a very old draw knife. It's mostly decoration, really. So what we're going to do is we're going to come at an angle, and we're going to pull and get this flesh off. Where it's still wet, it'll be easy to come off. But where it's dry, we're actually going to have to soak it or do something about that. Yeah, I don't want to damage this, man. We are going to soak it. You're off the hook for now. All right, now we got the Beaver put on our log here. I've got it clamped down. Not the most early 20th century accurate clamp, but it is what it is. And we've got our old antique draw knife. Now, I messed up with this Beaver because I let it dry out, so I went ahead and put it in some water, some tepid water to soak for about an hour and a half. Now, I already did a couple test scrapes, and it looks like it should be at least better than where it was. So that's what we're going to go with, and we're going ahead and start scraping it. And already I can realize, like, this is so much better than what it was. So I'm hopeful I'll be able to salvage this and everything will be okay. We got to get all this meat off, and this meat and the fat has a tendency to collect on the blade. So you got to kind of wipe that off every once in a while. But right here in this area you can see that's already coming off really, really well. And in areas that might still be a little too dry out, we'll go ahead and soak it in like small areas instead of all at once, because we really want to keep the fur dry as much as possible. If we were going to keep the fur on, then it wouldn't have been such a big deal. We could just soak the whole thing. But since we're actually wanting to keep the fur, we have to be a little bit more particular about how we do things. So we just kind of go at it nice and easy. Once you have an opening, it makes the process a lot easier. So if you can just find like a slight hole, or when I say hole, I don't mean like all the way through the skin, but like a gap in between the flesh, the meat, then you'll be okay. My friend, time is running out for you to join as a founder of the Traditional Candle Crafters Guild. If you haven't heard of it, it is a awesome community of people who just like traditional camp crafting skills. Hiking, hunting, camping, bushcrafting skills, whatever the traditional outdoor skill it is, like, you'll find your people there. And the best part is it's full of like-minded people. It's a networking site. They're going to have free courses. We're going to have live streams, and we're going to have roundtable discussions. It's just fantastic. So if nothing else, try it out for 5 free days. I guarantee pretty much that you'll find your people on there. And once you get on, you won't want to leave. You'll be locked in at the founder's price of $10 a month or $100 per year for the lifetime. As long as you maintain your membership, you're locked in there. But after this month, after January, the cost is going to go up and you won't be considered a founder anymore. So now is the time to get in there and see if it's a good place for you. I can't wait to see you on there. Just take your time with it. Clean off your blade. Have some napkins or whatever you got handy. Just keep it moving along. Beaver tends to have a lot more fat, like a squishy fat, compared to other animals like deer. Deer makes a tallow. Beaver, on the other hand, does not. All right, I'm going to bring it back after I kind of figure out and fiddle fart with this. I know I'm going to have to let this area soak a little bit longer. It's still a little too dry, but I've got this side over here that I'm going to go ahead and scrape. Now there's some meat here, and it's just sticking on. It's pretty dried out. Now I could try to soak it again and try to scrape it off, but I think because I'm afraid of, again, getting the fur too wet and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and take a pair of pliers here and little by little just kind of peel it off, and be careful not to take, rip it off completely in one area, because I want to have plenty to work with. So just working my way down little by little, and this is going to take a little while. I'm not going to show you the full thing, but just kind of give you an example of what I'm doing here, and might consider. There's a good old rule that if you don't want to make things 2 times harder for yourself by taking a shortcut. So instead of, again, soaking it in that water, which could be possibly a shortcut, I'm going to go ahead and just do this.
and I'll bring you back when I'm done. You notice my vest is off because I was getting pretty hot doing all that scraping in it. But I am getting her done here. It's on these edges where it's already been scraped, it's peeling off really good. So I got about a 2-inch area left. If you want to do this right, get the granular ones. Take a little bit of time instead of going to your big box store. I'm already pressed for time, so this is what I'm doing. So you take your borax and you put it evenly over your hide. Try not to breathe this stuff in. And especially get like the areas that's underneath the armpits of the animal and into any of the gaps. And you probably shouldn't be touching this stuff either, but you know, do as I say, not as I do. That's my dad would always say. Rub that everywhere in all the nooks and crannies on the edges. And there you go. Now, every 2 days, give or take, depending on how dry it is, come in and check on it. And when it's completely dry, then you're ready for the next step, which is basically wetting it out and stretching it. And then you got to take your brains or your eggs. I'm going to use eggs because I'm keeping the skull for my classroom. You take your egg mixture with water, and I'll show you that, guys, in another video. But you rub that into it, and you smoke it. Now, some people say that you smoke it before you put the egg mixture on. Other people just choose to smoke it afterwards. I'm actually going to smoke it before because I was told that helps with waterproofing it, but also just making it more supple and soft. So what smoking does for it is a couple things. It obviously dries it out a little bit. It's a cold smoke, not a hot smoke. But the smoke also helps with the bug issue because, I mean, it is an animal. It's a dead animal, right? And it also helps it repel water and making it water resistant. So that's why you smoke it. Now, if you've liked this video, please click like. But more importantly, if you like this video, you should check out our Traditional Camp Crafters community on Traditional Camp Crafters Guild. Again, the link is in the description box below. 5-day free trial. See if you like it, if it's a good fit for you. But there's a lot of good people on there who really like not just like this kind of skills, but just camping in general and hiking and trekking. Even if you're not into history aspect of it, there's the more modern camping side of it. There's a whole specific subgroup, if you will, dedicated just to modern camping. So give it a shot, and hopefully I see you on there. If you are interested in more of this kind of historic skill stuff, then you want to check out this video here. If you're interested in learning about knives, then I would check out this one here. It's like my most popular playlist. Give a kiss out to your loved ones, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.